YouTube, what is going on? Crowder here, and today I am bringing you guys the top 5 loadouts for Call of Duty Vanguard right now. We're talking public matches. If you guys want to drop a bunch of kills and have the fastest killing weapons that you can possibly have and absolutely just fry the lobbies that you're in, I'm going to provide you the top 5 loadouts in my opinion of what I think you guys should be using to get the most kills, to raise your KD, so on and so forth. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you do, like, comment, subscribe to the channel right now. We have content like this going all the time, and let's get right into the video. Okay, so first thing is first, we are going to talk about your loadouts, the top 5 loadouts and all of that, and, you know, just the guns that I'm going to show you and explain you a little bit of why they're good. I'm going to show you some recoil control on all the classes and whatnot, but before we get into that, we have to just talk about kill streaks and field upgrades and just show you guys what I think I like using the most and, you know, the reasons why and so on, and, you know, so here it is. So the kill streaks we'll start off with first. It's pretty simple. The reason why I use the spy plane at 4 kills, then I use the bombing run at 7, and then I use the dogs at 10, is because these are all kill streaks that you don't have to control. You just call them in and then you go about your day, or, you know, whatever you're doing in the game. So I like to get the spy plane first to get information on the map, to see where people are coming from and see where the enemies are spawning and such. But also you can use the personal radar or the intel. I personally like the spy plane a little bit more. It is one more kill, but it does not really matter. 4 kills, 3 kills. If you're, you know, kind of on a streak, you'll probably get them both. But I like to start off with that, and then I like to usually do the bombing run because it's really, really good. It's pretty overpowered in my opinion. You get a lot of kills with it, and you don't have to do absolutely anything with it. So you kind of just call it in and then you go slay the lobby out. And then the same thing with dogs. I think these dogs are really good. They get you a lot of eliminations. And again, you're not doing anything to control them. These streaks are actually pretty easy to get. And the reason why I say easy, obviously a 10 kill streak is not the easiest, but this game has probably one of the most broken field upgrades ever. And it is called Dead Drop. Dead Drop right here on your screen. It says it records your current kill streak score and awards it back to you when you next respawn. The way you use this field upgrade to get your score streaks is, say you know, spawn up in any map that you're playing and you get like 2 or 3 kills. If you pop Dead Drop after those 2 or 3 kills, and then, you know, you get 2 more kills, so you're at 5 now, but then you die, your next life you actually spawn with a 5 kill streak, and you can obviously have another chance at getting those score streaks back at like the 7 kills, the 10 kills. So that right there is probably the most overpowered thing in Call of Duty ever. You can get score streaks without even actually going on the 10 kill streak. You can go 10-2 and still have the score streak, or 10-1, because of the fact that this field upgrade exists. It recharges really fast, so you get a bunch of opportunities to get your score streak. So if you're not the best player, or if you are the best player, this works for you both ways. Use this and I promise you, you will not regret it. So yeah, those are the field upgrades and the kill streaks. Now we're going to get to these loadouts. So here are the loadouts right now on your screen. I'm going to go through all 5 of them. They're not in any specific order. I'm not saying the automaton is the best gun in the game, but compared to the STG or whatever, I'm just going one by one, and I'm going to show you the classes and explain a little bit of these classes and why I use them, and a little bit of the recoil control, and then move to the next weapon. All the loadouts that are really good right now. It's not one video at a time kind of thing. I figured I'd try and change up the style of video and see how this does on the channel. So hopefully you enjoy. The automaton is the first gun. We're going to talk about perks really quick. I use Dauntless because I don't like getting stunned, or when you get hit by grenades, you actually slow down in this game. I don't really like that feeling, so I usually use Dauntless. It's actually pretty good to keep it moving. But if you don't really need that, or you don't really care about that, I'd recommend either Fortified or Ghost. Ghost is really good. Obviously, the spy planes and all that stuff. It just really kind of depends on your play style. This doesn't really matter too much. I would probably use Ghost if I wasn't using Dauntless, but I like to use Dauntless right now just because I like to, you know, keep it moving at a fast pace. I would switch it to Ghost if not. Perk 2, I use Forward Intel. I think this is the most important thing ever right now. If you were a casual player, if you were an absolute demon on the map, it does not matter. This is giving you the most intel ever on the map. You can see where people are spawning. You can see where people are, you know, going to be. The mini-map's a little bit bigger. Everything about this gives you the information that you need to slay out on the map. I'm going to actually use this perk soon and do a live commentary and explain to you guys how to have more map awareness and read spawns. So this is going to be a really, really important factor in that one too. It just makes all the reading spawns and map awareness so much easier. So I would recommend using this, honestly, over any of these other perks. I know radar is like pretty good, but honestly, I think forward intel is a little bit better. So I like forward intel. I think it's one of the most important perks in the game right now. And then perk 3, this is very, 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 you know, interchangeable here. You can use lightweight. I like the movement speed. If you want double time for more tactical sprint, you can do that. Demolition as well, you get extra lethals. It doesn't really matter. Overkill, if you want to use that ride shield on your back, whatever it is, you can use here. I like lightweight. I like using the movements that I've showed you in these previous videos that I've posted to really, you know, turn those corners at a faster speed because I'm a very aggressive player. So I personally use lightweight. This one does not really matter. Use whatever you want. I promise promise you, it's not the end of the world. I use lightweight, so if you want to use what I'm using, there you go. A lot of other good players also use lightweight too, but it does not matter. Again, that is just solely to whatever you want to use. And then lethals, I just use the gammon bomb and a smoke grenade. I like smoke grenades to, you know, run through smokes and get closer to my opponents. And then lethals, there's better lethals than the gammon bomb. Honestly, you can probably use your thermites or your Molotov cocktails, but I just use the gammon bomb. You get it off pretty quickly. You can damage people before you shoot them. It's not that big of a deal. So now finally, we're getting into the first loadout. This is the attachments on your screen. I'm going to remove my face cam so you can see everything. I use the F8 stabilizer. The one thing I'm going to say about all my loadouts that I'm about to show you guys, keep this in mind. You do not have to use this stabilizer. You can use the mercury silencer. It's probably what a lot of people would recommend for you to use. I don't like the damage range getting taken off, but I know in public matches when you're trying to be a little bit more stealthy, you're playing for nukes, you're trying to get more kills, this silencer, there is nothing wrong with it. You can use it if you want. I personally just like using the F8 stabilizer because I do not personally care if I come up on the minimap or not. So this all comes down to what you prefer. It does not matter. You can use the recoil booster too. I personally like the F8 stabilizer. This specific class you are looking at right now is actually the pro player Arcides class. The pro player, the world champion and everything. This is what he is using minus the magazines. But the reason why he's not using a different magazine is because it's GA. That's a whole different topic for a whole different video. But here we are. That is the class right there on your screen. We have the F8 stabilizer, the sniper barrel, the Carver foregrip, which is really good for, you know, recoil control. I like to use the 45 round mags, the lengthened ammo type for the bullet velocity, stippled grip tape, slate reflector, stack skeletal, frenzy proficiency, and on hand. Pretty simple stuff. I like the slate reflector the most for the red dots. 45 round mags, really nice just to have a little bit extra bullets, especially when you're playing those crazy modes in pubs. Lengthened is bullet velocity. Stippled is really good for recoil recovery and that initial accuracy and recoil. That's actually very, very important in this game. A lot of people obviously have been talking about that bloom effect, and it's kind of stupid. So that's probably going to help a little bit with the bloom. Skeletal stock is really good for the aim, walking speed, and the strafing. Very important stuff. Frenzy, health regeneration after kills is probably the most broken thing ever in multiplayer, so you should be using that. And then on hand just to throw your grenades faster. So there it is. That's the class. I'm going to drop into a private match really quick and just show you the recoil control, and then we will go to the next class. All right, so really quick, the automatic class that I just showed you, this is exactly what this class is going to look like when you are not controlling recoil at all. There's no recoil control right here. As you can see, it kind of just goes straight up and then slightly to the right. That is not that crazy. The bullet path just goes straight up and slightly to the right. Nothing, you know, too wild about that. So when you're using this gun, all you want to do is pull down kind of straight down slightly and then a little bit to the left later on in the magazine. And this is what that's going to look like. You're going to be shooting, pulling straight down and then slightly to the left. And then straight down, and it's going to be very, very easy to control this recoil. This gun does a lot of damage. It shoots really fast. Very manageable recoil. This gun is something that I definitely recommend for probably, you know, someone that's not the best at the game that wants a really good gun that's not like high skill, high reward kind of thing. This is probably the class for you. This is something really, really good. I would recommend it. A lot of pro players use it in Search and Destroy as well. You also have really good ADS speed like this when you're aiming down sights. The reason why this class is so good is because on top of the recoil control, you're also able to aim in and then do walking strafe like this with an assault rifle. Very easy way to never get caught off guard. Get your first bullet off there if you have good centering, which if you don't know what that is, watch my previous videos. But yeah, good centering. Get those first bullets off. You'll be getting a lot of kills, probably more kills than you ever have before. So try this out. Let me know what you guys think. We're moving on to the next gun. Okay, so the next gun is on your screen right here. We're going to talk about the STG. Again, the F8 stabilizer is what I will be using, but you can be using the mercury silencer. It does not matter. I promise you the damage range is not that crazy of a drop off. If you want to be a little bit more stealthy on the map, use the silencer over the stabilizer. I'm not going to tell you the gun's going to change too quickly. You can do a little bit of different variations with these. I'm giving you guys the basic loadouts that you can use that are incredible and are going to help you, but obviously all of this is to what you think you can prefer. So start with this as your blueprint and then change things here and there if you really want to obviously make the best loadout for you. But here we go. We have the underbarrel, which is aim down sight speed, sprint to fire speed, which in my opinion I think is very important, and then aim walking movement speed for that strafe speed. Very good stuff. This gun doesn't have crazy recoil in my opinion, and it's really, really powerful. The reason why it's powerful is because this magazine right here, the short rounds, makes this gun a 2-shot kill. It is insane. This gun shreds everything. If you play against it in pubs, which you guys have already probably done, it's really annoying to play against. This is what most people are probably using against you. Lengthened ammo type on top of that for the bullet velocity. Then you have this 760 mm barrel, which is just some damage range and some accuracy and, you know, the scope sway and stuff. I personally like it a lot. Slate reflector, and the reason why I use the slate reflector is it's because it's the best red dot in the game in my opinion. I'm going to probably use that on all my guns for the most part. And then stipple grip tape, same thing. Recoil recovery, and then for the bloom with the initial accuracy and recoil, it's probably really important to have have that on most of your guns too, depending obviously on your play style. And steady aim, I wouldn't be using steady aim. I actually have my loadout here. I would be using vital, and the reason why vital is so good, look at what it says, guys. It says increased area for critical hits. Critical hits hit harder, kill faster. Now there's a bigger area for critical hits. You got to use vital, and I use on hand just for the equipment dexterity, throwing your grenades faster, your stuns faster, your smokes faster, whatever it is. And then the last thing that we'll talk about is this stock, the weighted stock. Look at all that of what it does. Recoil control, it makes it very manageable. Accuracy, flinch resistance, really, really important. Aiming stability, and then the only thing that it does is stops your movement speed. As an AR player, you're not really trying to move fast, and if you are, you can pull out your pistol. And then aiming down sight speed, this thing already aims down pretty quickly. And either way, the playstyle with an AR is very pre-aim heavy anyway, so this is a gun that does not need to have some crazy ADS. It's not a submachine gun, so it's going to be very easy to use. So I'm going to show you some recoil control with this, and then we'll move on to the next gun. All right, so we're at the same exact wall we just were with the automaton. This gun's recoil without controlling it is going to look like this. It's going to be basically none. I'm not touching the recoil right there at all. It did not do anything crazy. It kind of went straight up for a second and a little bit left, and then it kind of stayed very, very similar. So when you're using this weapon, all I want you guys to do is aim down the sight and then slightly pull down. It's going to look something like this. Very, very slight pull down, and you're basically not even going to have to control it. This gun, for how strong it is and how good it is, that recoil control is very, very broken. This is probably the best gun in the game. It's also another gun that you can get away with if you're more of a casual player. It's not some crazy high skill, high reward like the automaton. The only thing that with this gun is that you're a little bit slower. The aim walking movement speed is not as, forgiving as the automaton. So the reason why I think the automaton's a little bit better for casual players, hold down your left trigger and, kind of pre-aim through the map. In the automaton, you can do that really well. This one, you're a little bit slower, so it's a little bit harder to do that. But if you're a little bit better at the game and you have the basics down, this is the gun for you. This is all the broken classes that everyone's using against you that's pissing you off in pubs. I already know you guys are complaining about it because I've been myself. This is the gun. Hopefully, that recoil control and just like this explanation helps you. Use this gun. Let me know what you guys think. And now we're going to move on to the next gun. All right, so I'm going to keep this one short and sweet. This is the MP40. We have done a video on this already. It's not the exact loadout that we did in the video because the loadout video that I was talking about is the one that was the pro player MP40 that Abizi was using, so it's slightly different, but this is what I would be using in pubs. Guys, this gun is incredible. It is so good. It's probably the best SMG in my opinion. I know some people like the Type 100. We'll talk about that pretty shortly, but yeah, this right here is the gun of choice for me. I love it. I use the recoil booster. I would prefer the recoil booster over the silencer, and the reason why, because of the fire rate, so it kills a little faster. Again, it's not the end of the world if you take off the recoil booster and put on that silencer for pubs. The Carver foregrip's really good for the recoil control and all that. This barrel, pretty simple stuff, nothing too crazy right there. And then the 32 round mags, it does a lot of recoil control, aim down sight speed, fire rate. This thing shoots so fast, it drops your opponents. It's so good. You can move around the map, you can be sneaky. It's just a great gun to use, guys. I already have a diamond. I have my SMG's diamond already right now. Obviously, I don't leave my house too much, but yeah, there's not too much to explain about this gun, guys. It's very, very simple. We already did it in the other video, so I'm gonna breeze over this one, but this is in my top 5s, and this is exactly what I would be using. So if you like this class, let me know. We're not gonna do anything crazy with this one because we already made a video about it, and we're gonna move on to the next gun. So the next gun is on your screen. It is the Type 100. This is my Type 100 class. This gun is pretty much insane. The recoil on this weapon is a little bit more than the MP40. It's not the best at range compared to the MP40, but this gun with the class that I have set up on your screen right now is actually insane, and I'm going to explain a little bit about it. So first of all, I like to use the recoil booster over the silencer. Again, you can kind of do the interchangeable like I was talking about earlier in the video, but I use the recoil booster for the fire rate. The Carver foregrip is obviously for the recoil control, and the hip fire accuracy is not that bad. That's actually really helpful for this weapon in my opinion. Then you have the short round mags, and this is what gives you the damage, the bullet velocity, and the range, and the bullet penetration. These mags make this gun really, really powerful, especially up close as well with that damage boost. And of course, I use a lengthened ammo type, but you can use subsonic depending on the mini map. It's all up to you. Slate reflector, fabric grip, which is just ADS, sprint, and hip fire. But the thing with this gun that is really like interchangeable, but I think they're both really, really important. So it's just kind of whatever, makes you happier. Is you're either going to use sleight of hand, which is nice and important because you're using a 30 round mag, so the sleight of hand is really good for the reload. But if you don't want to do the reload or you don't really care about that, the vital perk, like we already talked about, is insane. It's increased areas for critical hits. With those damage mags and the vital perk, you are probably one of the most lethal people when it comes to close quarters combat with this gun. So you can do that as well. It really just depends on like what you prefer more. I've used both. I think they're both really good. And then of course the skeletal stock, which is just sprint to fire speed, which is really important, and then some movement speed with the sub sub, you want to be fast, and then the quick is another just sprinting speed, and that's really helpful for movement speed too. So that is the Type 100 right there. This gun is insane. I'm going to show you some recoil control and some other things about the weapon, but give this a try, especially if you don't like walking around with the MP40 every game and you want to change it up. This gun's actually disgusting. I think a lot of you guys would like it, and you know, give it a try and let me know. All right, so here we are with the Type 100. We got a diamond. It looks beautiful. Well, not in this lighting. It honestly doesn't. I think it looks a little bit better gold, but that's besides the point. We're at the same wall here for the recoil. I'm going to show you what this gun looks like when you're shooting it without controlling the recoil. It's going to look a little bit like this. It's got the 30 round mag, so you can see the recoil is a little bit more severe on this gun. It's a little bit harder to use, but it is very strong with the damage mags, and it obviously hits very hard up close. So with the Type 100, it has that severe recoil, so you're going to want to pull straight down when you're shooting it. It's going to look like this. It's going to be pulling straight down. It's definitely a little bit tougher to control. So it's not the best long-range gun, but when you're using the Type 100, I think my biggest tip for you or advice for you is play close quarters combat, use your slide cancels, and hip fire a lot too. Hip firing with this gun is really strong. The gun is really meant for up close engagements, especially with how strong it is. Try it out. Let me know what you guys think. This is another good sub to use if you don't want to just use the MP40 like everyone else is using. Last class of the top 5 loadouts that are the best for public matches. If you guys like these classes, again, I can do this for the competitive world as well. The CDL with all the pro players are using, because the pro players have a lot of restrictions on their classes, so those don't look the same as public matches. So I started off with this because I know a lot of you guys are just playing pubs right now. But if there is a good amount of you guys in the comments below that want to see the best CDL classes that all the pro players are using right now, I will do something like this for the pro world as well, because you guys all know I'm the head coach for Atlanta FaZe and stuff. So if you want that, let me know in the comments below. But we're going to be talking about this last class. You can see there is a frowny face next to it because the shotguns are the most broken thing in Call of Duty history, and I can't even believe I'm showing you this. But at the same time, I'm never going to lie to you guys, and I'm going to try and give you guys the best content that I could do. This gun is in the top 5 loadout. It's probably the best loadout ever if you're playing the Das Haus 24/7. Any close range map, this gun is the most broken thing in the world. I'm so sorry I'm showing you this, guys, but I got to do what I got to do. And this is the class that I was using personally right here. This is what I was doing. The full choke is the tighter pellet spread. I like the pistol grip for the hip fire accuracy and the sprint to fire speed. This barrel is really good for damage range, and damage range on the shotgun is really important. Then you have the 7-round mag on it, which is nothing crazy. I use packed powder. The reason why is for the damage range. Again, I really like it. Fine tar grip for the hip fire accuracy. Gung ho is the most broken thing in the world. It's very self-explanatory. While you're sprinting, you can hip fire. That's why hip fire accuracy is really important. With gung ho is the most unstoppable thing ever. Then quick, and then VDD hunter. Again, hip fire accuracy, hip fire accuracy, hip fire accuracy. This gun, you don't have to aim in. You can be the worst player in the world and you can still get kills. I can't believe I'm showing you this. Hopefully a day after I show you this gun gets nerfed because it's so broken, but I had to get it gold because I'm going for atomic camo. So I do have golden shotguns. I am not proud of it, but I do have them. So yeah, this is the last one in the top 5 loadouts. Not happy to show it to you, but there it is. It's probably the craziest killing weapon right now. I would recommend trying it out. But yes, I hope you guys enjoyed this. This was a different kind of style of video. I've never done something like this, and the reason why I usually do one video at a time. But a lot of people have just been asking me in general, what guns can I use other than just the MP40? And then, you know, other than just the STG. So here is 5 classes that will set you guys up for a lot of kills in Call of Duty Vanguard. Hopefully you enjoyed this content. If you did, again, please liking the video, dropping comments. I respond to most of the comments, and subscribing to this channel will help me out a lot. We just hit 60,000 subs, and all the content on this channel is going to be very informative for you guys to become the best COD players you can be. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. As always, it's been your boy Crowder. I'll see you guys next video. Peace out.